Darian McCoy. I am a wedding photographer, and I've been doing it for 4 years out of the Cincinnati, Ohio area.
Awesome. So we just have a couple of questions about what you do. What is your business name?
My business name is Darian.56 Photography at the moment. I service the Cincinnati area so far. I want to branch out into other parts of Ohio and in Kentucky because I'm so close. And I've been doing this since 2019. I've done my first wedding in 2019 as well, and I've been just embracing this chapter ever since I've started.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been doing it for a while. So what's some of your favorite parts about shooting a wedding?
The moments, the day, the things that you cannot control and you have to be ready for.
Yeah.
Like, so when, as a photographer, you can have the timeline and think it's gonna go. You better not expect it to go exactly that way because there's going to be some things that happen that you have to just be ready for. And I think I embrace that the most about not knowing what happens because I come from a background of communication major, so I shoot sports and stuff on the side as well. So I work for the Cincinnati Reds, and in sports, you never know what's going to happen, so you always have to be ready. So I brought that with me over to the photography side, and I think that's what I embrace the most is not knowing what's going to happen and just always shooting through the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely, you can have a plan and the plan never happens how you intend the plan to happen. So what are some of your favorite shots to get during the day? Things that you do plan for and that you really want to have those photos?
My number one is when I get there, I want the shot of the venue to show where I was. Outside of the dress shot, for sure, you want that. But I like to get the coming down the aisle once they have said I do, and they get that shot with everyone around them, cheering them on. And after that, right after that, shooting through that moment when they're walking down away from everyone and they're intimate and they're just like happy with each other that they actually just did it. I like that moment because it's just so, that the communication is key. You know, if you speak what your vision is, then you're able to let the photographer know that, and he can or she can actually make those things come to life for you. But knowing that having a shot list of your must-haves, or you know, all the way down to a T, so that you don't miss anything, and that I'm there to capture your day and not make it a photo shoot.
Yeah.
I'm there to actually just, not necessarily just a fly on the wall, you never see me, but I'm gonna be interactive, but don't pay me no mind, because I'm not gonna walk around and say, hey, look at me, let me take a picture of you. I want the candid shots. Everything I do is candid, unless I say, hey, can you guys do this? I'm gonna prompt you, and then I'm gonna go from there, but I just wanna make you as comfortable as possible, and that's what a photographer should be, instead of, you know, trying to take the moment for themselves to get their shots for their website or social media.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite season that you like to shoot in?
Summer, fall.
That's like everyone that I've talked to, they love fall just because of all the colors and the changing and the wind, especially with the color changes. Those are huge.
Summer, fall, definitely, especially at golden hour and with the trees, the redness of the trees or the orangeness, and it's coming through. That's so beautiful.
I think in kind of spring, it's kind of hard because it's raining all the time.
And nothing's on the tree.
Nothing's on the trees. It looks bare. And then
winter's fun. Winter is fun though, because if you like the snow, the type of clothing you could wear, you know, you can express yourself a little bit more in the wintertime, I feel like anyway. So I think summer, fall, winter can work. Spring is kind of like
Yeah, you get a little bit of gloomy overcast kind of thing and that sort of thing. I mean, we can definitely make it work. It's just the easier seasons to shoot in.
You're praying for a good day though if you do something in the spring.
Yes, you are.
So if you do something,
especially in Ohio.
Yeah, if you're doing something in April, you're like praying that I have a good day, because like, not to date the podcast or anything, but a few days ago, it's raining, it's gloomy. You don't know if it's gonna stop raining. You don't know what's gonna happen in April, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you think is probably like the golden shot or the shot of the day that you always come away with that being like, oh, I really want that photo. That is the photo I really want to have.
After the ceremony, and we can steal them after cake cutting and everything like that to go outside to get that
the golden hour shots. Yeah, those are great.
Because that bear hug, that and warm embrace shot, with the sun just peeking through just a little bit, it's like a magic shot, and
Absolutely.
that's what I love.
So, do you think there is a way to guide couples, even if you're doing candid shots? How do you like to guide your couples in poses, or do you kind of go into a meeting with them beforehand and say, hey, this is kind of what we want to do, or how do you kind of manage those
I
poses?
do like to try to talk to them before, of course, and just say this is the type of style, and I'll send them over some reference photos.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is when I'm posing them per se, I'll say, hey, like the reverse spoon, I'll say, bride, can you come behind the groom and put your arms up to his shoulders, and then can you just kind of lean over on his back a little bit, and then I will say from there, I'll say just talk to him.
Yeah.
And you guys, and I'll tell the groom, try to look back at her, stuff like that, but not like, hey, put your hand here and elbow here, no, because then that becomes like awkward, because a lot of times these couples haven't been really photographed.
Yeah.
So they're not models, so they don't technically know how to pose so much. So I try to keep it as simple as I can. I might start off with just a, hey, can you hold hands and just walk towards me and talk to each other?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that just gets them warmed up a little bit, and then they feel like the camera isn't there as much, and then I can start going into couple more prompts, like try to lean over, just kiss each other, stuff like that. Not necessarily, can you stand here, put this foot here, and then you turn this way. I don't try to.
Try not to make it robotic, just comfortable. How many hours do you usually suggest that they like make your photography session during their wedding day? Because I know that there's different hour lengths, but is there an hour length that you prefer? Like, do you want to be there for 6 or 8?
I think the sweet spot is 6 to 8 hours. Anything more than that, because the biggest thing is, do you want your getting ready more so, or do you want your reception more so?
Yeah.
And if you want to find a happy medium, I feel like 8 hours is right there.
Yeah.
Because I can arrive, I can be with the bride and her getting ready, get some detail shots, get some flat lays, and then I could go over to the groom, get him getting ready as well. And then the biggest thing is, do you want to do a first look beforehand? I highly encourage doing first looks beforehand. Not because I'm the photographer, but as someone that's married, me and my wife always talk about how we could do it again. We do a first look so we can get that time with each other, because the wedding goes so fast. The day goes by so fast once you get going into it, that you'll look up and say, man, I don't feel like I actually got to have a second with you without everyone else. I enjoyed my day, but I wish that I had just 15, 20 minutes where me and you could just talk about, what we're about to do, and now that we're here. So I highly encourage that, because once you do the first look and you can get a lot of your photos done beforehand, then you can go do your ceremony and everything, and then you can have that time to spend with your people during cocktail hour and everything. And then we just go out at golden hour for another 15 minutes or so. And I feel like that flows easier.
I always kind of push my clients to the idea of doing photos, as many as we can before the ceremony, just so that you do have the availability to get the candid shots through the reception, so that your guys' end of night still allows for like some open dance floor time and any of those special shots that you can get. If we do what we can do before, then you have more time at the end. So that's helpful.
You don't want to get a photographer for a certain amount of time, and it's for 6 hours, say, and then you expect everything that we just said in 6 hours, and then you'll get that, but then we'll get to the point where we'll be at the open dance floor,
and you won't have anything.
You won't have anything.
Yeah, and that sucks, because those moments can be really special. You can find really funny things happening or really sweet things happening, and then those aren't captured because the night's already over.
Yep, grandma getting her dance on.
Yeah.
So you want to have enough time to where you get all of those things, and I feel like 8 hours is perfect. 6 if you have a smaller wedding.
For sure. I think that's definitely a good time range and doing everything beforehand, I think, is really important. So what is your process when clients book with you? What does that look like from the time that they contact you to the wedding day?
So I go over my packages with them, although they can see them online and everything. I go over that with them, tell them everything they can expect, what they'll get, if they're getting prints, X, Y, and Z, and then I'll ask them when their date is. We get all that solidified, and I like to ask them, first off, what type of photography, what type of style are you looking for? Because you may want a different style And if that's not my style, I don't want to lead you on and book you and become your photographer and it doesn't look like what you expected. So I get the style first, like, is my style exactly what you're looking for? If they say yes, then we proceed.
Okay.
Then after that, I try to get their date and everything, but I want to do their engagement session. That's my time to really get to know how they are and what they do and don't like to do as far as photos and posing or however it is. And I feel like that's a good builder. So then when you come around the day of the wedding, we feel like we are all friends and you know what I'm looking for, I know what you guys like, and it's smooth because I already know that you don't like to be shot from your left side or whatever the case may be. Those are things to just get to know about.
Is there helpful information that they can give you? So like when you're having those conversations, things like you don't like to be shot from this side or whatever, is there a list of those kinds of things that are helpful for them to tell you up front?
Yes.
So what are those things?
If you have an imperfection that you feel like, stuff like that, so like I said, the left side, or I feel like if they have, something wrong with them or something, all of those things I like to know so that I can say, okay, when I go into this, I know to put the groom over here so that I don't show this.
Yeah.
So that's just things I just try to cater to them as much as I can so that they can be happy with what we make.
And that's super helpful when you're going through the editing process too. If I catch something I don't want to catch, then I can take it out if I know that.
I try to get everything right in camera before I edit because I don't want to, I'm not the, I'll just fix it in post person. I like to try to get everything done in camera the right way, framing and everything, so when I go to edit it, it's all seamless.
Awesome. So what is your packages and what is the pricing per package?
So my packages is, I have 4 packages. 2 are the same. One, they're just adding videography to it. So my lowest base package right now is 6 hours at $2,500. And then if you want to get photography, wow, sorry guys. If you want to add videography to it, then it is an extra $500, right? So you can choose between a 1-minute highlight, and then package 2 is the 8-hour package. And that is, what is that package? 25. Okay, so I had it wrong, sorry. So my 6-hour package is $1,500. Then if you want video, it's $2,100. And then my second package is $2,500. And if you want video, that's 2 to 4 minute highlight film. That's $3,100. So
that gives them both, you can add on videography to either of those packages.
You don't have to have it, or you can have it if you want it. And then the top package, which is the $3,100 package, it comes with photo, video, and a print book.
Awesome. So what can they expect to get out of those highlight reels? What are they expecting to see? Because I know sometimes people hear highlight reel and they think videography. And so what is the difference in that, and what are they expecting to see in those highlight films?
So I asked them, what is your first dance song? And then I tie that highlight film to that song. And so what I do is I take those important parts from the day of hair getting curled or something, or her looking at her dress, and then a shot of the ring. I'm just telling the story throughout the day in a smaller sequence, basically, like a time frame. So I'll do that, and then with the 2 to 4 minute, it'll be the same, but it can include like the vows or something like that, and under the video. So that's what you get with the bigger package. The 60-second video is more for your social media. So you can show that off for social media. I feel like anything over 4 minutes, it kind of loses the audience. So that's just my opinion on that. So I try to keep it under 4 minutes, and that's just something that you could share around and everyone be happy to look at it.
Absolutely. So before we go, is there anything that you want to make sure that couples know when they book their wedding photographer, or when they book you specifically? Is there anything that you want to like note to them, say to them, anything that's important to remember?
That I am a part of your wedding day. I am actually there to be a part of your wedding day. I'm not there to steal the show. I'm there to show your version of love through my lens. So everything that you do, I'll make sure that I'm there to make sure those things come to life. I'm not there to steal the show, as I said. I just want to make sure that you guys have a good time, and that you don't have to worry about the photographer, if he's going to miss this or he's going to get this, because we already talked about all those things before we booked, and we had that session, that engagement session. We talked about it more. We got to know each other. So you know when you book Darian, that Darian is going to get the job done. You have nothing to worry about. It's going to be a good time, and he's going to be a part of the day with you guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate having you on. And Ken, for one more time, can you share your social media handles?
Instagram is Darian.56 photography. And then same thing on Facebook for my photography page, and then my personal page is Darian McCoyle on Facebook.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for coming out. We're excited to work with you this year. I know we have a wedding coming up soon. Hopefully we have more in the future. So thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.